You're listening to Following On with me, Neil Manthorp, along with former England fast bowler Steve Harmison. And if you have missed any of the show and you want to catch up, you know what to do now. You can download the podcast from the Following On feed, available via the free talkSPORT app or wherever you get your podcasts. And I'm delighted to say, as promised at the top of the show, we're joined by I was going to say former Australia opener, but he that implies that he's not going to open for them again, but he may well do that. But he is at the moment in raspingly good form for Gloucestershire, who've won their first 5 games in the One Day Cup. Cam, thank you very much indeed for your time. A little bird tells me that you took a two days off to pop to Ibiza to freshen yourself up for the One Day Cup.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that word's got out, but yeah, I was there earlier in the week. Yeah, was tempted to go back again this week with a 4-day break, but no, it was yeah, nice to have a little freshen up and change of scenery.
I mean, obviously, Gloucester off to a fantastic start in this competition. What's the formula with that? I mean, you're 5 from 5. Looks as though you're going to get quarter-final spot and a home draw easily. The success down in the West Country at this moment, because you've done all right in the Championship as well.
Yeah, I think we were, obviously, coming off the blast. I think we were all like quite disappointed as a group with how that tournament sort of panned out for us. So I think coming into the Metro Bank, we were really keen just to compete really strongly, and we got a lot of belief in our group. We got a lot of experience in our group, and it's actually just about getting out there and really backing yourselves, playing positively, and I think we've really put that into action so far, which has been great. John Lewis, he's been sort of part of our group for this portions of the season, but especially the first 5 games here. He did talk about us, sort of showing that presence a little bit in our 50 over cricket, and like it's been nice to be able to I guess put it into play. So yeah, we've played well. Hopefully we can keep it going.
Cam, how would you rate the One Day Cup? I mean, it's developed a really loyal following. There are those who say that that it's been reduced to a I don't know, like a second 11 sort of competition. But actually, it's exciting seeing young players come through under the tutelage and guidance of some senior pros like yourself. I mean, it's the crowds have been pretty good, and whereas people thought that it might be killed off being played alongside the 100, the opposite seems to have happened. Is that your impression?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. We played a day-night game on Friday against Glamorgan, and we had an excellent crowd. There was good noise. Good support there, and that's also been the same for for some other matches that we've played. So I think a lot of teams have got some really good cricketers, and it's a tough competition. Like, I think anyone can beat anyone on their day. 50 over cricket brings about some really different elements that are also really exciting. So the fans, they seem to really enjoy it, and I think we really enjoy playing it. So I think it's good comp. It's been supported really well.
You're a sort of seasoned veteran now of English cricket. You've played quite a lot of county cricket at the different spectrums at clubs at the top end of the first division, with like Somerset and Durham, and teams that have a little bit more of a struggle financially, down in Gloucester. What's your take on what's happening with English cricket? Because it's got its negative comments from probably people in the ECB about where its relevance is in the world of development from a cricket point of view, but also people seem to want to change the structure all the time. You've played a lot of county cricket. Why do you enjoy it? Why do you keep coming over? And what's your sort of take on what people from the outside want to, obviously from the higher up, wants to do with it?
That's a good question. I mean, I would get coming back if I didn't love it. I think cricket's supported really well over here. I think, you know, compared to Australia, you actually get really good support to games. And I think as a player, you know, obviously experiencing, you know, Australia as well, that's a really nice thing. And yeah, I think it's a strength of county cricket that's quite underpinning. And you know, I remember playing at Somerset a couple of 4 days you play there, and like you're playing midweek, and you know you're still getting like 1,000 people to come and watch the game there. Like that's pretty incredible for 4-day cricket. So I think it shows that there's something special about county cricket in that way. And you know, it's just I mean, often people ask me, you know, what's the standard like, and you know, comparing to Australia, like it really is incomparable. I find, you know, the conditions are so different over here, and obviously, like, as you know, having 18 clubs as well, obviously the talent gets stretched, you know, a lot across those 18 clubs. But even still, like amongst that, you do see a lot more talented young players get exposed, and I think that can be a positive thing. You know, and I think you've probably seen that within the England setup. You know, the ability for, you know, England not to be, you know, afraid to select someone like a Josh Hull, or you know, someone like that. You know, and because he, you know, he's able to get exposure to playing some games in county cricket. So yeah, I think that's the exciting thing about the comp. The schedule's obviously very unique too. You talked about that. Yeah, it's a lot of cricket over here. It does take definitely wear and tear on the body. And yeah, I think revising that is probably a wise thing, you know, for the long-term view of the game. But it's also, I think, what makes, you know, county cricket really unique as well. So finding that right balance is the key. You know, I'd see the schedule came out, didn't it, for the T20 Blast next year. I think that could be like a really exciting thing as well. And there's obviously been some reviews on 4-day cricket too, and I'm sure that'll be done in due diligence. But yeah, overall, it's really enjoyable. It's great development for your game. And you know, I think that's you know, it's a great thing for, you know, for fans and for, you know, county cricket as a whole.
It's I think 95 days before the first Ashes test, and much talk about Australia's top three. Many names being mentioned, like who's going to bat alongside Usman Khawaja, who of course himself is 38, I think. Several of the candidates are in their 30s. Your name is still being mentioned from time to time, maybe not as much as it used to. Are you still, well, first of all, talk to us about the Australian top three, and are you still hopeful that you'll get another crack?
Yeah, I obviously it's yeah, I think probably batting in the top three firstly isn't an easy place to bat. And yeah, no doubt there's been some challenges in, you know, matches and stuff over the, you know, last period of time. You know, that I think everyone in the order's probably experienced, but you know, no doubt as a top three batter, you taste a lot more intensely when the bowls are fresher, the ball's newer. That's sort of part and parcel of the job. So yeah, no shying away from that being a fact. And yeah, I'm sure there's lots of learnings. Obviously, there's a lot of you know, digging deep into improvement and what that sort of looks like. So yeah, that's definitely been, I think, the case. Obviously, at that level, and you yeah, that's definitely the case. Sort of no matter what's sort of going on. And yeah, like I'm enjoying my cricket. Yeah, I reckon, you know, every season of my career, at the start of the summer, I reckon the same conversation sort of pops up. And yeah, if selected, then of course I would. But yeah, I'm just it's yeah, we go again.
So what you're saying is get the Gloucester stuff out the way, go home, score a few runs, and listen to my name. It's one of the two or three candidates to start this. You mentioned there, I mean, how hard it is now. You know, top three. England have got that problem. I think quite a lot of, you know, countries have had that problem. in Australia, is there a difference to the surfaces? Because we hear the surfaces are a little bit different last year compared to what I played on. Absolute flat belters with a Kookaburra ball, which goes, I mean, completely like the dogs chewed it after about 10 overs. It just seems as though there's been a lot of talk of that ball being a little bit more durable and the wickets having a little bit more in it. Is that what's making the top three a little bit harder to sort of fulfill their skills?
Yeah, like 100%. I mean, like, even if you look back and, sort of reflect on in the past and, some of those wickets and games and things like that, a lot of the wickets were white, and, obviously the sort of grass coverage that you have on pitches that have that sort of appearance, like it's, I guess logically there couldn't be, the ball would behave differently, wouldn't it? So, now in Australia, and I think in WA especially, we've probably been a little bit part of that, part of creating that. Like we had a bowling attack, for a long time where we did struggle to take 20 wickets and to win games. Winning the Sheffield Shield and obviously is just the pinnacle of domestic cricket in Australia. And yeah, we did start to produce those sorts of pitches for that reason, to try and get results. And we were really successful at it. We trusted and invested in improving our skills as a batting unit to play better in those sorts of conditions. And I think a little bit that mentality has probably flowed on into other states, into our whole sort of competition. And now, particularly as a top order player, you sort of know that you're going to have to face those conditions. And I mean, it's good for your development, but also the polarity of that is the fact that you're going to fail and you're going to get out. Like that sort of part and parcel of playing in that sort of role. So I think in Australia, there's a lot more grass, there is a lot more challenge in that respect. But I guess that's that's the present moment, and we got to try and find a way to be successful in.
You mentioned WA. Just finally from me, first Test match is in Perth, not at the Wacker. Just give us a little sample size from obviously your home conditions, what that first Test match will look like, from the arena to the surface to the atmosphere.
Yep. I mean, firstly, Perth Stadium it's a beautiful venue for cricket. Over the years, I think we've seen it's really well supported in Perth. So no doubt the days have been sold out there. I think it probably holds like 50,000, 55,000. So that'll be real exciting, that atmosphere. And the wicket there is really quick and bouncy. It's a drop-in wicket. A lot of the sort of main Test grounds in Australia now are drop-in wickets because of AFL football. But even despite that, it sort of holds that characteristics that you sort of associate with Western Australia still. So that'll be really exciting. I think it's a nice place to start the series. It'll be really challenging. No doubt for both teams. They'll be red hot coming out of the blocks as hard as they can. But exciting place to start, and can't wait to see it all unfold.